What is going on, everybody? I go by Philly Mike, and this is the Philly Tall Podcast. And today we got another live stream, possibly a call-in. Shout out to everybody who came through the chat: Joe Mir, Vic 3, King Knight, Bryson, Ethan, Bobby, Marquette, Merciless, Jason, Isaiah, Takeem. Shout out to everybody who was up in here early. Bobby, Philly fan, appreciate y'all 100%. So as we wait for some people to get in here before we get to the topic, we are going to discuss the Alshon Jeffery, Malik Jackson situation. We're going to talk about Deshaun Jackson leaving as well, and the fact that there could be many more players either being let go, traded, whatever can benefit this team the most. Because at the end of the day, you got to look at what direction this team is going. Everything is brand new except for Howie Roseman. I don't know how he's not brand new. But we're going to have to figure this out. I believe even in rebuilding years, you want to compete. But I think players never will give up. I mean, a young player is going to be hungry to do his best out there, just to do his best. But you got to think organizations, when they're in the rebuilding, they want to keep some of their core young pieces, and then they look to take away talented veterans that can save money for the team, that can possibly get picks for the future, and they want to mortgage them in the sense that if we take the talent away, the young players can try to win, but they won't win, which will necessarily give us better picks so we can turn this thing around. A team like Miami, even though they won a lot of games, it was the tank for Tua. Now they luckily got him. They were pick number 5, but that front office tried to take everything away from them, and they were still able to win the games because they're hungry. But that lets you know you got a young core to build around from seeing the hungry people ball out. And then they were able to accumulate a lot of picks. I don't want the Eagles to stink for a long time before we can start doing anything. But again, shout out to everybody in the chat. Chris, Takeem, what's going on with you guys? What's going on? So X Billy said, I think Alshon should have stayed just to have a big, tough wide receiver. I hear you, but at the end of the day, you just couldn't do it. Money-wise, situation-wise, we can't have players who just can't get on the field, and when they do, nothing that really comes out of it anyways. You know what I mean? Nothing really comes out of it. Reese, my guy, said, was watching you while I'm going home from work like always. Shout out to my guy, Aldi B. What's going on with you? What's going on? Chuck Jones in the building. John Martin in the building. Tupac, Shakira, James, Joey Z. What's going on? With 2 veteran wide receivers going, wide receiver needs to be drafted in the 1st or 2nd round. I think that opens up the door a little bit for it. You know what I mean? Like I was under impression we definitely can go get a receiver anyways, but now it's like the guys that you kept saying, wait till these guys come back, are now gone. So, I think this opens up the door, and it doesn't look as bad, even though we went 3 wide receivers last year. J.J. Arcega-Whiteside the year before. Now, the 3 wide receivers, even though one was picked before JJ and 2 were picked after, they all have more upside than JJ. But a guy like Jalen Reagor, I'm not fully giving up on, but, we didn't see what we wanted to, whether it be our team around him was bad, he was injured. There were a lot of things along them lines. But look, we got a couple people in here. I want to address something real quick, because not a lot of people, but a couple people came on my channel and asked me if I was the guy that came at Joey Shakes. I just want to say, for the record, no. Now, I don't know if Joey Shakes has a problem with me otherwise, but no. I text Joey Shakes on Friday about Carson Wentz, about some locker room problems, my take on it. Maybe he was busy. I don't know. But that's it. I text him on Friday via the cell phone. He didn't answer. But whatever somebody messaged him on Twitter, someone said this, that wasn't me. That wasn't me. And I'm a guy that if I like you, I praise you to your face. If I don't like you, I say it. So it is what it is. And I'm a guy who always promotes anybody who's on my channel. I say, go check out their channel. So it is what it is. Y'all can take that for what you want. But the reason I'm really addressing it is because people actually came on my channel and said, Joey Shakes was talking about you. And I know he didn't say a name. I didn't watch the whole video. But it is what it is, So take that for what you want. And let's get back to Eagles because that's what this channel is about. You know, I prop up every Eagle content creator on here, bigger than me, smaller than me, because I love everybody in the community. Damian says, does JJ even have upside? I don't think so. And that's the thing. It's hard for me to say nobody has upside, but just look at him. I mean, like anybody who needs their mom to hold an umbrella over you, that just shows me like it's a little deeper than just being able to have skills on the field. Skills on the field, you know what I mean? So I don't know. I mean, look, when you look at JJ Arcega-Whiteside as a guy, the dude's, he's big. He can block. You think he has the tools. I mean, if you watched him in Stanford, maybe you weren't drooling over him like DK Metcalf, pause, but the dude was able to get it done in Stanford. He was a red zone machine. He used his body the right way. He did what he had to do, but it didn't translate. He forgets how to run routes. He gets nervous. Like there's a lot of things missing in JJ Arcega-Whiteside's game, but where did it go and why? I'm not saying he wasn't. I'm not saying he was a monster in college, and I really didn't watch too much of his tape. I just watched a little bit as we got him, but it's very concerning to say the least. Papa said Kyle Pitts looking good with the ability to play outside and run a 4.5. Did he really clock him at 4.5, or is that what we're speculating? Especially since we run the 2 tight end sets, and Pitts basically ain't a tight end. He's a big wide receiver, a big body wide receiver. Here's my thing. But do you think a guy, again, I think Kyle Pitts' stature is great, but do you think he can run better routes than the top receiver in the draft in Jamar Chase, who's also a bigger body X position receiver? And the reason I named Jamar Chase over Devontae Smith is because Devontae Smith is still not an X receiver. And if you do line him outside, he's going to play the X. And here's my take on that. Yeah, if he can play both tight end and receiver, that's great. But when you look at just being a tight end, even if we play 50%, which 50% is a lot, 50%, what do you call it? 12-man personnel. That means 50%, one of our great catchers, whether it's Pitt or Dallas Goedert, is off. Shout out to my guy LB in the building. LB in the building. Robert Drennan with the 4. I repeat, 499 super chat. He said JJ Arcega-Whiteside makes Todd Pinkston looks like TL. I mean, yeah. Like I said, and I don't like to come at the guy like that, but as like a Philly 500 would say, every time I hear his name, I think of the pitcher. Like, it's sunny out. Are you scared of some sun? Like, I don't know. And to me, that's just another further step into why he hasn't been able to be successful as a receiver. I mean, at least he didn't go as far as Matt Collins saying he'd rather play on the special team side. My guy, LB in the building. What's going on with you? Rock the artist. What's going on? What's going on? What's up? Cool Cat Connor. Tupac said question. Should we draft a wide receiver or a cornerback in the first round? And my take on it is like this. Wide receiver, the top wide receivers are more talented than the top corners to me. If we were a little farther back, I would like to take a Surtain or Farley, but I would like to be flirting with like 9, 10, 11 as my draft pick rather than 6, because I just can't see. Again, we just lost Alshon Jeffery and Deshaun Jackson, guys who don't play for the Eagles, but, the organization had big aspirations of them eventually coming in and helping us out, which never happened. But that's what they had. So I think the top tier talent at wide receiver to me is better than the top tier talent at corner. I think they're deep at wide. I think this draft is deep at wide receiver, and it's low key deep at corner. But here's the problem with being deep. You need to have somebody to go fish out the talent in the second round, in the third round. And that's where I don't trust Howie. Let me be honest. I don't believe Howie Roseman can screw up the 6th overall pick unless he takes a quarterback. That's the only way he could do that. If he takes any skill position at number 6, you really can't screw it up. Whether you get Pitts and you love Jamar Chase, you're still getting a good player in Pitts, or you're getting a good player in Chase, or you're getting a good player in Smith, or you're getting a good player in Surtain, or whatever. You can't really screw it up unless you take a quarterback. But can I trust him to get the second round talent in corner, the second round talent at wide receiver if we go the other way? Jason said might as well take wide receiver. Who you got though, Jason? You got Chase or you got Smith? Or who you think's going to be there? I'd rather have Chase than Smith. I wanted Smith, but he's kind of small. Yeah, I mean, the smallness, his frame worries you. But, I mean, listen, we saw people like Marvin Williams, the Isaac Bruce, the Terry Holtz. We saw skinny receivers get the job done. You know what I mean? Deshaun Jackson did it for the majority of his young career. I mean, he kind of, but, I mean, Devontae Smith is also, I mean, he is 6 foot. So, and 15 pounds. So does that affect his route running? I'm not sure. I don't know all that. Victory said Rager and Watkins will make a big jump. Rager has a lot to prove and Watkins has flashes of being fast. Exactly. Quez Watkins, a guy that all content creators, shout out to all Eagles content creators. We were on him. We were calling for him 4th, 5th, 6th round. Last year's wide receiver class was deep. You see people like Tyler Johnson. Look at Tyler Johnson out of Minnesota. Late round pick for the Buccaneers, balling out. You know what I mean? He had a couple key catches. So last year's draft was pretty deep too. 2020 vision in the building. What's going on with you, my guy? How we will pick Trey Lance and convert him into wide receiver. I called it, man. That will break my heart, bro. That will break my heart. Our wide receiver core, Rager, JJ Arcega-Whiteside, Hightower, and DG. Who's DG? Am I missing something? DG? Cody said, I want Parsons or Chase. Oof, that's one thing. Listen, how long has it been? Somebody in the chat, let me know how long it's been since we drafted a linebacker. I know it's like 30 plus years. I know it's like 30 plus years, but I don't know off the top of my head. But I know somebody in the chat knows. Mike, were you and Chalk It Up Tone to Shield's live stream on the mock draft? Nah, I don't think you're talking about today. I seen it up. I just couldn't get to it. I was very busy. Why? Who'd he pick? Ward is meh. Oh, yeah, I agree. Listen, if we're talking about Greg Ward, I think that's what you're going at. Greg Ward Jr. was never going to be the guy that you're just look at him and like, nah. But when you look at production for the Philadelphia Eagles, he was the only one who was worthy of a pass thrown to him on 3rd down. I mean, he caught the most 3rd downs at the wide receiver spot. That's not saying much when you got John Hightower who got pulled. You have Travis Fulgham who got pulled for inconsistent Alshon Jeffery. You had Jalen Reagor not be able to stay on the field. So Greg Ward Jr., if only asked to be your slot receiver, if you got a Jamar Chase on one side, you got I'm going to say it, I guess, a Jalen Reagor, because Jalen Reagor is supposed to be that complement to an X wide receiver. Now, he definitely has to prove it before I can legitimately throw him out there and say that. But let's be honest, if you have that, I think Greg Ward Jr. is more than reliable, as my guy Eminem just said, in the slot. You can't ask him to be a 10-catch receiver. You can't ask him to just go up and one-hand it in the back of the end zone. You can't, you know what I mean? And even though he did it against Josh Norman, not too good, it is what it is. And Travis Fulgham is a guy that I'm not going to swear is a number 1, but I'm not going to I'm not going to say he's not, because he did have moments where he played pretty darn good. Now, he did get a little jittery. He did drop some balls. But before we can say he's bad, I think it's more our organization just never gave him a chance. Liam said Chase for 1st round, but how he won't do it, I hope. I mean, I think the fact that we won't have Alshon Jeffery, Deshaun Jackson on the roster, guys that we were going to count on for crucial minutes last year, I believe there's a chance they might pull wide receiver. Robert said, I hear Kelsey is leaving. That's another thing that is scaring me. First, it was the retirement, and now we're talking about possible trade or release. I think what they say about $4 or $5 million you can save. The Eagles are looking to save money everywhere. And that's where you got to be nervous about a guy like Big Play Slay, a guy like Fletch, a guy like Javon Hargrave. I mean, he's younger. I think they would go Fletch first, because at the end of the day, if let's be real, if Fletcher Cox has 3 years of high quality football or 2 years of high quality football, and we spend them 2 years rebuilding, we did him a disservice and we just spent big bread for no reason. So I think when a team is rebuilding, you really got to look at everything. Chris said that doesn't change the fact that he's average at best. True. I'll give you that. He's better. He looks really good on our team because of what we have. Robert said Nathan Gary, trash kids. BLSG said Chase Smith or Parsons at 6, not Zach Wilson, Kyle Pitts, or Justin Fields. Hashtag Philly Mike the GOAT. Shout out to you, my guy. Appreciate you. Emily said that they cut Alshon. Yes, but you really listen. Even the Carson Wentz thing, it's done, but it's not done. It can't be to the first week of the league year, which is like March 19th. But yes, Alshon Jeffery's out of here. Malik Jackson out of here. Deshaun Jackson out of here. We already know Carson's out of here. And now you're really going to be hearing rumors leading up to March 19th. By the way, my birthday is March 14th, just to let you guys know. Leading up to March 19th, you're going to hear the big play slays, the Fletchers, these guys being available. Zach Ertz, you know what I mean? It's like you heard it. If we don't trade him, he's going to just walk, or, you know, I forgot exactly the situation. I don't want to just sit up here and say something that's wrong, but you got to make our moves. And that's why, even though a lot of us were kind of scared to let go of Zach Ertz last year, that would have been the ultimate move and getting a nice return. Who do you want with the second pick we had? Now that's where it gets interesting. And it's hard for me to say who I want in the second pick because it really depends on the first. You know what I mean? We go receiver, we gotta go corner. We go corner. I don't necessarily say we gotta go receiver, but that varies because I think there's some nice linebackers in the second. And hold up, wait a minute. Let me get my guy Philly the podcast a wrench. He did play me last time. I had him on the channel. And listen, if you guys don't know who Philly the podcast is, go check him out. Watch a video. If you like what you see, hit the button. You know what I mean? He'll give you a wrench before I do because I slack on it sometimes. Shout out to Philly the podcast. I got you with a wrench. Eric R said, "What's the cap at now, Mike?" I don't know now because once you let go of Alshon, I mean, listen, letting go of these guys is also adding to the dead cap as well. I just don't have the numbers right now. Philly 500 just posted and said trade Slay. Listen, you might have to. You might. Here's the thing. I, as a fan, and I know most of you in here as well, you know, we come to the reality of. We come to the reality of like some people got to go, but you know, you don't want to wake up on Sunday to be like, we're about to get our butts whooped. You want to go into Sunday like maybe we can get a dub, you know, maybe we can. And even though we're rebuilding, I still feel like I would want to get a couple dubs. So it really comes to this. Let's see what we draft, or let's see some offers. If they're on a trading block, well, then offers can make us say, oh, yeah, let's do it. Or, oh, no, maybe a contender will throw some money at him. And again, let's just say 2020 was, let's just say after Carson Wentz had a pretty good 2019 end, let's just say in 2020, we went to the playoffs. You know what I mean? Well, then you're okay with keeping a big money Fletch, a big play Slay because you're competing. But if you know you're not competing, yeah, get right to it. Podcast says, dang, bro, mine's March 10th. Pisces all day. Shout out to you, my guy. Shout out to you. They are converting Jannard Avery to linebacker. Yeah, I haven't talked about that much on this channel. That's what he was. He was a stand-up guy. Now he's still a linebacker that wants to rush the passer, but he can do that in the joker position, which I think is going to upgrade him. Yeah, I see it. Yeah, I see it's about to get crazy. Exactly. Liam said we are 42.9 million over the cap right now. Shout out to you. Phil, evaluate your young players. And that's what you want to do. Once you get that mindset, well, where you're like, see ya. What do you call it? Fletch, see ya, Zach, see ya, big play Slay. Well, then you really want to evaluate your young guys because you got to know who's on the roster. You got to know who are you going forward with and who are you axing. Shout out to Bobby Murphy. He's always in here. Now he don't got Carson Wentz to talk about, so he finds something else to get on somebody with or play around. Shout out to you. He said, happy early birthday. Mine's to all the March B-days on here. Shout out to you, my guy. Anthony said Hicks was. Hey, yeah, Hicks was a guy who was talented, but just couldn't stay healthy with the Eagles. Go somewhere else? He doesn't get hurt no more. Doesn't get hurt no more. We got to play the young guys and see what we got. That's facts. That's facts. You're going into it with everything brand new. These guys got to prove something. And the guys who are hot, listen, this is the first thing you look at when you're rebuilding. Who makes the most money and who's the oldest? Old people be lying. I'm just kidding. Old people making money are the first ones that got to go, you know? It is what it is. They got to go because you're not going to compete while they're there. So it's tough. Bashir Randall in the building. What's going on with you, my guy? I think that we should play in a 3-4. Ugh. I don't hate it. I just know when I play Madden, I don't like using a 3-4. But again, you can't take Madden in real life's thing. It depends. I think when you have a really good pass rush, I think 4-3. I'd rather have 4 defensive linemen and 3 linebackers. Now, if you have a team that's stacked with linebackers, then of course. But we can't play 3-4 because we don't want to have an extra linebacker on the field. If anything, we want to take one off. What's going on, my guy? Isaiah's in the building. Isaiah's in the building. Mike, at this point, I'm about to say, forget it. Trade everyone but Slay and BG. Trading Fletch, Kelsey, Lane, Maddox. BG's interesting. The only way I see BG on staying on here is if he does a huge restructure or maybe renegotiate, because he's about to get, I think, 17 mil. Wentz still stinks, though. I knew that. I knew you were coming with that. Philly Mike, what's good, my G? What happening? What did I miss? We're just talking about possible cuts. We haven't really talked too much about the draft. We'll get into that in a little bit. Shout out to everybody in the chat. I love how y'all just take it somewhere else. But yeah, we were pretty much starting off. We only been live for 22 minutes, talking about the 2 people who we are cutting and possible future cuts. You know what I mean? Real quick, shout out to Eagles Sixers fan keeping it real. Said Michael Pittman said Wentz got to get another number. Yeah, that is. I seen so many disrespectful takes on that. It's like, come on, man, that's crazy. That's crazy. But hey, it is what it is. Shout out to my guy Jake One Love 21 with the 199 super chat. Marcus Smith was the last linebacker we drafted in the first round. Wow. That's sad. And again, we got a new coaching staff, so maybe they could try to edge Howie on. But when you still got the same GM who just doesn't believe in linebackers, it's hard for me to see it happening. You know what I mean? Daniel Donnelly said, it's my birthday today, and my mom's March 14th, same as yours. Nice. Well, happy birthday to you, Daniel, and shout out to your mom for having the same birthday as me. Got to set up that P.O. box in time for your birthday, bro. Oh, shout out to you, my guy, Eminem. I definitely got to get that. Mike, did you text Joey Shakes by accident? See? I addressed this earlier. I text Joey Shakes on Friday talking about Carson Wentz via the cell phone. I did not hit him up on Twitter about nothing. And if I don't like somebody, I'm not as scared to say it. So I don't have no problem with Joey Shakes. Now, if there's something else that he has against me for something, I don't know. If I don't like someone, I say it. If I like you, I say it. I do a really good job letting people know where I stand with everybody on these platforms, and anybody from the ones littler than me and bigger than me, I promote them as much as anyone. You know what I mean? I'm always telling someone to sub. I'm always putting people on my channel. I'm always asking them, what do they want to do? You know what I mean? I give super chats to everybody. I super chat everybody. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, I text Joey Shakes on Friday at 6 o'clock. I got him here. Listen, I got the inbox. I talked to Joey Shakes months ago on Twitter, months ago. I got the inbox of Twitter. I got the inbox on my phone. We talked about, I talked to him about Carson Wentz on Friday. He didn't answer me. Saturday, nothing. Sunday, nothing. And the last time I hit him up on Twitter, besides today in the morning when people came on my channel accusing me, the last time I hit him up was when I said, hey, you guys want to get Joey Shake so we can do that roundtable? I don't know if you guys remember, but it was me, 500, LB, Gate City, Philly Fresh, and Joey Shakes. I said, LB, it's on your channel. Send me the link and I'll send it to Joey. That was back in September. Come on now. So it is what it is. You know what I mean? Now, again, when all this popped off in the morning, I'm going to work. I'm tired. I work at 6 in the morning. People are talking about me. Some people on my channel, some people DMing me on Twitter. I said, Joey, can you call me? That's it. That's it. Because again, I heard the video. The video said that somebody inboxed him on Twitter saying something about him. Well, I texted him on Friday via the phone. So it wasn't me. Now, maybe he didn't like what I had to say about Carson Wentz. That's the only thing I don't know. I know. But again, this is how I come at anything. Someone says someone don't like me. What do? Joey, can you call me? That's it. Then we talk like grown men. Simple. So I don't know if he doesn't like me, but I wasn't the dude on Twitter on Sunday that said something to him. Simple as that. You know what I mean? Now, I don't want to go too long about this, but like I said, I'm not going to make a response video fully. I don't like that because I don't know if it's me. And again, if he says someone talked about him on Twitter, it wasn't me. But I don't know how he feels about me elsewise because he didn't answer me back today. CW Gearhead with the $20 super chat. Man, my girlfriend just got me a Carson Wentz pop figurine for my birthday in December. Still going to keep it. Still have a jersey, but just want this team to build around Hurts and not pull the same crap they did with Wentz. Let's get Hurts some help. I'm with it. Let's go. Just popped in. What's good, everybody? What's going on, Mike? What's going on? Ghost Dad just said, okay, I was just joking with you. Nah, you good. Like I said, I'm cool with it. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, it is what it is. But when I did hear this, I said to him, hey, can you call me? And if he did call me and he's like, yo, it's not you, I'm not going to pry. I'm not going to say, well, tell me who it is. No, but I do remember texting him on Friday. He didn't respond. It was about Carson Wentz. And I thought, hey, maybe he is mad at me. I don't know. But then when he said someone called him, I don't know, something bad on Twitter. So that's not me. Don't really care then if it's not me. You know what I mean? Man, if we don't get Hurts a defense, it's not going to be good. Yeah. I mean, as much as we want to get weapons around him on the receiving side and running the ball and stuff, we need to get him a defense. We can't expect our offense to always score 30. You know what I mean? It's hard to build an offense like the Chief and a defense at the same time. So it's like, where do you want to start? Let me ask you guys in the chat. What is the best way to start refixing this team? Offensive side of the ball, defensive side of the ball. Let me know in the chat. What do you say about the mod, my guy? Hey, I got you. Then I got you. Turbotastic said, are you making a mock video for the draft? Yeah, man. Like I did last year. I'm gonna have my mock video where I just release a video, but last year I did the same thing. I did a live mock draft. One mock draft I do by myself on here in front of you guys, and the second one I don't pick nobody. The majority of what the chat says is what I pick. Shout out to my guy Kevin Bacon in the building. Zach King says defense. Oh, here we go with the answers. So we got CW says goes back to the old saying, defense wins championships. Draft playmaker with the 6 and then go defense the rest of the draft. Anthony Thomas says who's backing up Hurts? Sudfield's a free agent right now. So Mir Slat said defense. Vic said O-line and D-line. Zach King says defense. Mir said cornerback. Kevin Bacon says sizzling. Rome One More said, give me a number one wide receiver. Mike says, to be honest, I gotta say defense. James says O-line. Jason said, have you made a mock draft board? I did one playing around, nothing serious. I think the first one I did, I got Jamar Chase. But yeah, I'm looking at some stuff. I'll definitely start getting them out there. Right, Mike? It's going to take more than 1 year to get it done. I'm going predominantly defense. Ooh. So far, a lot of people talking defense, but I would love Jamar Chase. See, a lot of people like, let's get that one guy out the way and then go defense. Bobby says, start by redoing both offensive line and defensive line. I mean, that's where you win, the trenches. Shout out from Orlando, Philly Nation, baby. Shout out to you, my guy. Appreciate you. Go offense first, then go defense the rest of the way. I'm thinking the same way as Brian. I would love to get Jamar Chase. Exactly. I mean, you can't go wrong there. The only thing that's really going to disturb me on draft night is if we go with a quarterback. I can't see it. I can't see it. You got to give Hurts an opportunity. There's a decent quarterback draft coming up next year. If we fall that far from the tree, especially with possibly moving guys like Big Play Slay, Fletcher, Derek Barnett, maybe a Lane Johnson, if we move some big pieces, this team can be top 5 worthy if Hurts is very bad. So I think if we move pieces and Hurts is legit, then we won't be great because of all the pieces we moved, but we will be okay. And if we're bad, then we go into next draft looking for a quarterback. But to not even give him a shot and to do what you did to Carson to the Jalen Hurts by handicapping him with getting him a player who can't help him, instead of getting him a player on defense, offense, the line, all that stuff, you got to do it. Trey Lance, y'all future. I guess you're not an Eagles fan, saying because you called it y'all. Man, we get Chase. I'm gonna love him. Listen, you know what Philly Mike might do? If we get Chase off the grip, I might have to do a raffle. I might have to just give away a free Jamar Chase jersey. Don't hold me to the fire yet. Let's see how we keep going. But listen, I gave a Jalen Reagor jersey away. I gave a Jalen Hurts jersey away. Shout out to the 2 winners. But I think if we get a Jamar Chase, I got to do it ASAP Rocky. Somebody got to rock that beautiful, beautiful jersey. Mr. Wing said Chase or Pitts. I go Chase. And it's nothing against Kyle Pitts. I think he's a legit player. I would go Chase. That's where you win in the trenches. Exactly. Listen, the best teams, think about the teams that made the playoffs. Think about the good teams. Aaron Rodgers has a good offensive line. Now, he was missing Bakhtiari, and it showed. You miss your best offensive lineman, and you get beat. Tampa Bay, good offensive line. Indianapolis Colts, good offensive line. Green Bay, good offensive line. The Chiefs, good offensive line before they were missing both their left tackles. Remember what that looked like in the Super Bowl? If Howie is drawing the pick, I would not be surprised if he grabs a quarterback at 6. He's notorious for it. Yes. Unfortunately, I'm aware of that, and I'm just like, please, somebody got to tie him up or something. Mike, I'm out of salt. Howie, let's buy a quarterback. Facts. Give me Pitts, Waddle, Surtain, Chase Smith, and I'm happy bird. Like one of them, right? Just get one of them bad boys, and I'm a happy bird. Let's go. Eagles champ said, we get Paris Ford from Pitt. Safety, he'd be the best safety in the draft. Over Wallace. So, but what round would you try to get him? He's Kevin Bacon said, water. Where the hen rock, Mike, man? Listen, you know what I mean? I gotta keep it easy. Scooby-Doo said Surtain. Surtain at 6 or move back and get Surtain? He said, I want the jersey, Mike. You already know. Listen, I'm gonna be jealous if I'm gonna have to get me one too. Because if I get one of y'all that and you come on the channel on a call in and you're rocking that in front of me, I'm gonna be like, yeah, though. Shout out to you guys though. Get Chase this year. If next we need a quarter, I agree 100% with you, my guy. I agree. Watch Lance highlights. Dude looks like Mahomes. That's the only thing. I mean, like, for me to get a quarterback, you got to guarantee me Mahomes, and there's no such thing as a guarantee though. Malik want to come to the Browns. Hey, listen, Malik still got a little bit in the tank. If you're a team like the Cleveland Browns who made the playoffs last year, you made it to, you made it to the AFC, the divisional round. You beat Pittsburgh in wild card weekend. You made it to the divisional round. You got these players who are leaving the Eagles got to go on a team that is, playoff worthy to possibly try to put them over the hump. Chase is number 11 though. Yeah, but it's Mike, would you take Cam Newton on a low 1-year deal to compete back up for Hurts? I think we should listen. Sudfeld is a free agent, so he's not going to be there. I would take all the guys, whether it's Cam, Tyrod Taylor. Just give me a guy who's going to be a backup, who's going to take a cheap contract. And I don't even think, Cam's going to really want to compete. And I'm not going to say, well, we wanted Carson to compete, so Hurts can't. But, if Cam would win the job, that's a sign then we do have to go somewhere else eventually because Cam's older. Like, we need to see what a young quarterback can do. So I'm actually okay with, I don't know if Cam is the right guy because he's going to want to compete. I think a guy like Tyrod Taylor who will accept backup. And again, people act like we need a great backup. Listen, the rule of thumb is if your starting quarterback goes down, you're not winning. Now, there's one exception to the rule, and that's why I got this hat. So I know I just said that, and that's it. Like if Tom Brady went down, the Bucks don't win. Mahomes goes down, they don't win. Rodgers goes down, they don't win. We were the exception to the rule, and so I'm okay with my backup being a guy who's just blah, okay. I mean, he'll win some games, but he's not going to do it all. So, we can't be investing money in the backup when we don't have linebackers, don't have receivers, don't have DBs. Unforgettable. What's going on with you? Yeah, Malik was hoping he stayed. He wanted to see how he'll do in a different system. Yeah, I mean, when a team sees Alon says only if he's a backup. When a team sees a new coaching staff, you always get that excitement for the whole new regime. Rome one more. Shout out to my guy, channel member in the building. He said we should get Brissett for a backup. I'm cool with all of them backups. And shout out to Victory. I do believe that Cam's cheap. That's all true. But Cam's, he's still going to try to start, though. It's Cam Newton. He just got that swag. Chase, 1 Chase, 2 Pitts, 1 Chase, 2 Smith, 3 Pitts. That's your order and preference? Foles was a cheap backup. Cam, you would have to invest more in, so no. Well, I mean, he just took cheap money to start, so I don't know. And I hope that we don't take Pitts and definitely take Chase now that Ertz is going with Goddard. I'm gonna be the third best tight end in the league. Hey, Dallas Goddard got some talent. He got some talent. I still gotta mess with IG. Like I have one, but it's not the one that I'm gonna use for the future. So shout out to you guys. I was thinking about turning this into a call-in for a little bit. I don't know. Cam got swag or he dresses in a drag. He got swag. Okay, Lance looks like Mahomes, but without track team, Mahomes is Mahomes really Mahomes? That's a good point. I would like to believe in the talent of Mahomes, but we haven't got to see him under a team that's not that good. Shout out to my guy Kevin Bacon with the $4.99 super chat. He said Chase only played 2 seasons. Oh man, he's coming for me now. one not so good, and the other was elite. How do you have that, Mike? Here's my thing. Devontae Smith was good with Waddle and was great without him. I understand that. When I look at them two, Devontae Smith could possibly do great things in the NFL. But if I had to lean who's more NFL ready when it comes to strength, the physicality, and them traits, I go Chase. And I know he only had that one good year. But your best years are normally your junior and senior because sometimes you don't play as much as a sophomore or freshman. So at the end of the day, I believe if he didn't opt out, it would have been him versus Devontae Smith. Now, listen, I don't think he could have dealt with Devontae Smith. I don't know if he could have because now he would have been on LSU with, I don't know who LSU's quarterback was, to be honest. It wouldn't have been Joe Burrows, but he wouldn't have had, what's his name? The guy we didn't take. Dang, for the Vikings, I slip in my mind. Justin Jefferson. So I hear you. I don't think you can go. And here's another thing, Kevin. Here's the thing. Jalen, the type of receiver Jalen Reagor wants to be, because he's not there yet, is he wants to be like Devontae Smith. So I think if you get Devontae Smith and Jalen Reagor, you have two similar receivers, but Jalen Reagor is like the watered down version of it because Devontae Smith is legit. There's no comparison there. I'm saying the position they play, the Y. The Y position. Chase the true X, but I do hear you, my guy. I hear you. Shout out to CW Gearhead with the $5 super chat. Biggest thing, no matter who we draft or sign, is can everyone stay healthy? Even just getting groceries in the offseason, health has been a big, big issue. And I agree. We can talk about all these players that we're either going to get, let go, resign. If we can't stay healthy, it doesn't matter. And here we go with another one. If that's how you feel and that's what you think, it is what it is. I said all I had to say on that situation. It wasn't me. ZT said that's not a good comparison. What do you mean? Smith and Reagor? No, I'm not comparing the two. I'm just saying that Smith wants to play the same position Reagor. Smith is way better than Reagor. Way better. Waddle with Hurts chemistry is crazy to think about. I mean, you can always try to go that route, but I can't take Waddle at 6. I mean, again, Waddle was a supposed to be a baller before his injury, but again, now, do we really want more players who have some type of injury history? Devontae Smith way better than Jamar Chase. Their junior years, Jamar Chase was better. Senior year, nobody was better than Devontae Smith, and Jamar Chase didn't play, so of course he got the edge. I want Chase so bad, but I'm telling you now, they're taking Pitts. It's almost written in stone. Woo! I'm awake, are you? I am now. What's good, Eagle Slayer? Be more careful. Shout out to you. I know you're not talking to me on that one, but shout out to my guy. Be more careful in the building. Be more careful in the building. Hey, listen, if people come in talking all that spicy, let it be. Let it be. At the end of the day, it's cool. I ain't mad at the game. I know what I did or I didn't do, so it's cool. First round pick, don't do anything. No, first round pick, tight end, don't do anything. Yeah, I mean, Kyle Pitts has talked about to be, other things than a tight end. I can't see you drafting a tight end to turn him into wide receiver when there's two wide receivers, whether it's Devontae Smith or Jamar Chase. Now, I don't think both of them will be on the board when we pick, but one of them will. Cincinnati or Miami, one of them two is going to take a receiver, and the other one is going to take Penei Sewell. If Penei Sewell drops to us, I would consider taking him. It's not the sexy pick, but that's a build your type of that's a build your franchise round type of player. So I would take Penei Sewell. I just think he's going to either Miami or Cincy. And the other team is going to draft either Jamar Chase or Devontae Smith. So it might be a scenario where it's like, we want Smith, Jamar Chase is available. Or we want Chase, Devontae Smith available. And if they both get taken by the Bengals and the Dolphins, well, then Penei Sewell, I'm just like, let's go. Why not? Shout out to my guy, Alkabir, the analyst up in here. Shout out to him. Listen, my guy does great Eagles content as well. He be on the low with it. Definitely check him out. And he's also a guy who just drops in breaking news. So, like, you know what I mean? He keeps it funky for all 32 teams. Now, he does most of his videos about the Eagles. But if something spicy happens around the league, whether it's a IG video, he keeps it flowing. So check out my guy. Appreciate you for coming through. I think he's trying to say the Finns taking a wide receiver. So if the Finns take a wide receiver, do you think Cincinnati's going to take Penei Sewell, or do you think does anybody have both receivers being off the board by 6? Shout out to my guy Joshua Stewart. I hooked you up with that wrench, my guy. PR for Life's says get free agent and trade all. Get free agent and trade all the players that are not going to be there in the first and second year and draft what we need. I'm not exactly sure what you're trying to say. We just need to take the best player available, in all honesty. Exactly. I mean, we need to make sure we hit the best player available. And that's why I think if Penei Sewell drops to us, one of my guys, Jalen Williams, credible dude when it comes to offensive line talk, said he doesn't believe in him. So I'm going to have to ask Jalen more. Maybe I just bring him on a channel or something, or maybe bring him into BBP or something. But I got to ask Jalen why he doesn't fully believe in Penei Sewell. Be More Philly /Indy said pick 6 will be a quarterback. Ouch. That hurts. That hurts my soul. Deep, deep soul. What do you think about the rumor that a lot of teams are going to sign free agents to 1-year deals due to the cap? Oh, I agree. I think they're going to say, come to us 1 year. We'll give you a decent amount. And then you prove it. Bang, you get your contract. And why not? I mean, the cap is a little bit better than what we thought. What is it going to be? Around 180 million. So it is what it is. Should the Eagles tank? Players never tank. Organizations tank. What I think we'll do is, if we realize we don't got the talent around some of these old players to compete at a high level, I think what you'll see is guys like Fletcher, Big Play Slay, maybe a Brandon Grahams, anybody who's over 30 making big money, we start to offer them to competitors. A la the Cleveland Browns, the Green Bay Packers, the preferably in the AFC, so we don't have to play them. But that's what we'll do. And so the objective would be to take talent off the team so you do lose, but the players are going to always give it their all. So that's what they do. I mean, look at Miami. They took people off. They took people off that team. They gave rid of Minkah Fitzpatrick, Xavier Howard. They gave away all the players, but the young players were able to say, you know what? We still going to win enough games to be the 5th overall pick instead of being top 3. That is good too, because you're still a top 5 pick, but then you had your eyes open. Ooh, look at this young player that I didn't see coming. Look at this guy. Look at this guy. You guys stay. You guys go. And now we got picks galore, and we back in action. Look at the Miami Dolphins. They'll be competing for a playoff spot. Young Money said, I'm with both. Should we trade for Darnold? No. Then I gotta sneeze. Bashir. Oh, you're talking to Bashir? Shout out to my guy Bashir. If Howie goes quarterback, he's trading up. Oh my God. They're like with the third pick in the 2021 NFL draft. Who's the third pick? I think Miami. Miami trades with the Eagles. Here we go. Tankett is not an option. I'm with it. JC Horn is NFL ready. I think he's better than Farley. If we trade back, I want him. 1 year with a lot of bonuses options. That can make sense. Shout out to my guy CW Gear here with another one. $10 super chat. He says, let's be honest, best player available could be a wide receiver. And Howie, the at-home D&D player, drafts a character out of the world of Warcraft, and we all get left scratching our heads. Yeah. I can't disagree with you. I mean, we've seen it in the past. The one thing I will say, the only way I believe Howie Roseman messes up this draft is by going a quarterback. I think even a guy like Howie Roseman, if he decides not to go quarterback, I mean, Pitts, Chase, Smith, Sewell, even a cornerback, I don't think you can go completely wrong. It might not be, you might be like, oh man, we got Pitts instead of Chase, or oh man, we got this, or oh, and we got to watch what everybody else does. But I don't think you can go wrong. But now the second, third, fourth round, even, and this, like I said, it's pretty deep. This draft is pretty deep in positions we need when it comes to corner, wide receiver, safety. It's going to be very interesting. Shout out to my guy CW Gearhead, though. We need to take Surtain to put on the other side of Slay. Our back end suffers every year. Let our receivers run out the year with Jalen, and let's see what we got. Hey, I agree. Listen, we need corner help. I just don't know how long Slay is going to be here if we are losing. Shout out to Ty Quan TV. Said, what's your take on the Cam Newton situation at his camp with the kids? Man, what's wrong with these kids today? If I was if Cam Newton came to a camp, or I'm not even sure exactly what it was, but if Cam Newton came to anything that I was at and I'm 15, I'm not going to try to be cool and get viewed. Like, bro, it's Cam Newton. He can offer you advice. I mean, maybe he can set you up. Like, I mean, no matter what, you can get a foot in the door because maybe he talks to you. Maybe he picks your brain. Maybe he likes your knowledge and he just throws your name out there like, hey, y'all agents, watch out for this kid in the future. You know what I mean? I'm not saying it would have happened, but I would have picked his brain and stuff like that, not try to clown him for being a free agent. He's a free agent in the National Football League, bro. Like, you can only dream to get there. Jay Koch says we need to draft picks. We need draft picks, not give them away. I agree. We need draft picks. We will be looks like we're going to be possibly moving players to get some. I think Fletcher should take a pay cut. I agree. I'm not even typing no more. I'm on patrol. Shout out to you. Will Sten says we could definitely get a cornerback or a wide receiver in the first or second. I just don't see them taking a cornerback at 6. That's my take too. I think the top end wide receiver talent is better than the top wide receiver talent is better than the top cornerback talent, but I do like the talent of both them. Well, Philly Mike, we don't trust Howie's pick at 6, so you or Gate put in a request to come in the draft room and pick. Hey, shout out to my guy Gate. Let him go up in there. I have the ultimate trust in him, even though I think he's on the Pitts wagon. So, I don't know if he came around I don't know where he stands at Chase or Pitts. I'm not even sure, to be honest, anymore. Shout out to him, though. These kids have no filters. They have less fear than their parents. I agree. These kids are disrespectful. Agree, man. Like, it's Cam Newton. The dude was an MVP of the league. Like, pick his brain. Tell him something that, you know what I mean? Just talk to him. He's like, all right, bet. He still knows the top of the top in the league. Maybe he tells him, hey, Chris guy I talked to, he's a 17-year-old kid. Hey, keep your eye out on him. You know what I mean? There's still a foot in the door. Instead, he's talking about you're a free agent. Eagles champ said we taking a quarterback, Mike. Eagles are a quarterback factory. Hey, Howie did try to take that statement back. So I don't know how legit that statement pulled back is, but he did. Dillard, Mills, and maybe Barnett. Definitely Mills needs to go. Yeah, but you also got to look at the people who make the most money. I mean, moving a guy like Mills Mills is a free agent. So you don't negate or gain anything from that. Kalon said, I hate that the apology was public as Cam was really crying about it. I bet he ain't even give it. He's just not fazed by looking. Oh, yeah. I'm not going to lie. At least that little video, it did look like Cam got triggered a little bit. And I think it also comes back to Cam Newton doesn't look at himself like a guy who would be in the position he was last year with the Patriots and now. I mean, dude was a franchise guy. What would you give up to get the first pick to get Trevor? I mean, look what we gave up to go from we gave up a lot to go from 8 to 2. When we got Carson Wentz to go from 8 to 2, we gave up a lot. So I don't even know what we would have gave up, but it'd probably not be worth it in the long run because when you are a team like the Eagles, you need everything. See, the difference about the Jags is the Jags get the number 1 pick. They don't have to give nothing up. And because they sold all the Jalen Ramseys, what's that guy's name? The pass rusher, Ngankwe. Well, because they gave up all these guys, they got picks behind them. So they're going to get Trevor Lawrence, Urban Myers, and they're going to have picks to go with. So, they might be able to come up a little bit. Brian says, Coach needs to do the same thing Chip did with Howie. Put him in the other side of the building. Exactly. Get him out of there. Listen, you got to trick Howie. You got to, give him like tickets to like the Lakers or something. I don't know something. I know he don't care about that. You got to give him something. He's like, oh, I can't miss this. Wait, it's close to the draft. Maybe I can. I don't know. You got to do something though. Shout out to Daniel Donnelly for becoming a member. Shout out to you. Appreciate you, my guy. Victory said he hit the kid with the where's your dad? Oh man. How he picked the quarterback, and I'm personally coming to his house to pack his stuff. Mike, you know how dumb that kid sounds. Free agency is a part of the NFL, bro. A lot of people go to free agency. Exactly. Again, he was just trying to get one up on an NFL player. I don't know why. I would have, yo, Cam, what's going on, my guy? MVP 2015. Why would Cam retire? He was good till he got COVID. Yeah, COVID did really mess him up. And then he was on the Patriots whose weapons were worse than ours. Exactly. If you think about how people were playing Tom Brady looked pretty good with the Bucs. The same Tom Brady looked kind of washed with the Patriots. And again, Cam was able to put the team on the back before COVID, but really fell off after COVID. First round, Rashawn Slater. Second round, Christian Barmore. I'm not sure how to say it, but I'm gonna have to check. Rashawn Slater is that other offensive lineman. I gotta look up to him. He was trying to troll. Exactly, troll hard. CW Gearhead with another one. $5 super chat. Shout out to my guy, man. Appreciate you 100%. You don't even have to do this, but I do greatly appreciate it. Trent Cole need you to come out of retirement, can get linebacker straightened out real quick, but he might get penalized for hitting too hard. Hey, yeah, man, this is a changed league. Mr. Red Eyes, Trent Cole. That was my guy, 58. My guy. Samuel Mack said, get Howie up out of here. He's ruining everything. I'm with it. Question, why didn't Wentz give a farewell presser for all of us Philly fans that was down for him? Yeah, man, it kind of hurts. There was a people who legitimately disrespected him, but there were also people who just, try to give him the benefit of the doubt, I guess. Chuba Hubbard, Chaz Surratt. I like the linebacker Chaz Surratt and Trey Sermon are going to be nightmares. Keep your eye on Zaven Collins. My goodness, he's special. I like Zaven Collins a lot. Cam giving back to the youth, and that's how they treat him. Exactly, man. Exactly. And that's when you're going to see more NFL players like, man, I ain't going to these kids. Forget them. He talked about it on Brandon Marshall's podcast. I'm an athlete. I'm going to have to check it out. Oh, God, his mama and auntie. Oh, man. Shout out to you guys. Like I said, appreciate y'all for coming through. We are going right on an hour. I actually had the mindset to turn this into a call-in. We got 202 people in here. If I do a call-in, it won't be for too much longer, but maybe I do. What do y'all think? Should we rock out a little bit longer, no call-in, or should we do a call-in and let you guys talk? I just did a video on him. You have a YouTube channel? Shout out to you. I'm going to have to check it out. Comment on one of my last videos so I can get to your page. Mirror Slash, I like to listen to you talk. Shout out to you, my guy. We need to sign Tyrod or Brissett as a backup to mentor Hurts. Sean, I agree with you 100%. I do not, I repeat, not want to take a quarterback in the draft. I want to get a Tyrod, a Brissett, someone who's going to come in, be okay with the money, and just work with Hurts, because we can't have we need to know what we got from Hurts. We just need to know. We need to know. Crying Carson is going to get Frank Wright fired next. Oh, man. Dang, I just saw the title, not my boy Jeffrey. Yeah, man, it was time. What crazy is I got to cheer for Wentz 75% of the season next year just for the first. Hey, yeah, we got to make sure he gets us our gold. Cashy said, sign Cam. The only hesitation I got from signing Cam is I don't know if he's ready to just 100% be a backup. Will Sten says, Chubb would be nice fit for us. I have to look up more information on him, but shout out to you, Will. Rome Robinson said, why not Nick Foles? I think the general consumption on Nick Foles is if you bring him in at the first sign of problems with Jalen Hurts, they're going to scream to get Foles in. And the way our team's going, even if Nick Foles was the savior, he's not going to save this young team, especially if we gut it. If we end up moving on from big play Slay and Fletcher and like a Lane or a Brandon Brooks, one of them two, no one's carrying this team. So you have to see the young talent. You got to only have people on the field that you need to see for the future. And Nick Foles, great part of our past, but not a part of the future no more. Shout out to my guy Jay Kills with the 5. I repeat, $5 super chat. The curse is lifted. Hurts will take his lumps and get better. That's what I'm hoping for. And my take on the whole situation is this. My main take is if we end up gutting this team, and I say gutting it by taking off some of these big time veterans, the Fletchers, the big play Slays, one of the offensive linemen, if we end up gutting this team, Jalen Hurts being good while taking some lumps is going to be a little bit below average team. Not because Jalen Hurts is not good, but because everything around him is not going to be that good. And we're going to go through our lumps and bumps. If Jalen Hurts is bad, well, then we might be picking inside the top 11, and then we can worry about quarterbacks. So to me, it's always my stance is I believe in the potential of Jalen Hurts, and I'm willing to see where this team goes in the first 4 games, possibly gut it, fire sale if needed, and then we evaluate Hurts. And you got to evaluate him a little different because the talent around him is going to be not as strong, but you got to get your evaluation. But we have to see all young players. Shout out to my guy, Jay Kills. Frank says anyone at 6 will help the Eagles no matter what. Even the quarterback, but I can't. Hurts is planning to work out with Watson. That's good, but I think he should also put some work in with Wilson. Yeah, I mean, he's working with the quarterback guy that Watson worked with too. Louis Lou said going to be a tough upcoming year, but the next year with 2 firsts and more cap space should be a good start to rebuild. Exactly. This is the start of this rebuild is the start, but we start making real big moves next season. John P said draft Kyle Pitts. Wilson said if we draft a quarterback, it won't be until later rounds. I'm cool with that, like late. Jesse White says Carson Wentz is weak. You never quit on your team because you got benched. 2017 players got to go. 1999 all over again. Hey, out with the old and with the new. He will be good for the Colts. We need him to play so we can get our first. That's facts. Drummer, what's going on with my guy Drummer? I'm a day late and $1 short, but I'm here. Yo, Bully Gang, shout out to you, my guy. Appreciate you for coming through. You already know. Look at the Texans. Great quarterback, trash team. Exactly. Now, I'm not saying that Jalen Hurts can do what Deshaun Watson did with brand new coaches, no offensive line. I mean, okay offensive line, no defense, no run game. And they did have receivers. Let's be honest. Their receivers were better than ours, but he balled out. I just want to, if Jalen Hurts can play good with what we're going to have around him, especially if we start gutting the team, you got to take all that into consideration. The quarterback from Florida will be available in the 3rd or 4th round. Kyle Trask. With our cap issues, Howie's is in a can't miss situation in free agency and in the draft, which is scary because he never gets the right guys. That is scary, my guy. Very scary. If the process, if we draft a quarterback, it would have to be in the later rounds because he's solely be a backup. I agree. You know what I mean? You can't take anybody who you're going to you got to just let this guy try. Sixers are the best. Yeah, I know. I hear you. Jay Milton said, "No, Mike, no quarterback. We got to run with Hurts." Hey, I agree. I mean, I don't know if you've been listening to me, my guy, but I agree. I'm the biggest stance on you got to go with Jalen Hurts no matter what. Do not take a quarterback. What was Carson's first 3 starts to Hurts' first 3 starts, Mike? I think it was like we went 2-1. 2-1, 1-2, and I didn't really break that down. That's actually probably a good video to talk about, or we get our guy Gate City to do that one. But I know he had a video on like 3rd down conversions and stuff early in the rookie years. Carol Poole, what's going on with you? Jason said, I want to see what Hurts can do. It could be very crazy to draft another quarterback in the 1st. It would be. I agree. Definitely need to go with Hurts for the year he deserves since Howie did cause all this chaos by drafting him. Another great point. Jannard Avery going to be linebacker, good. His highlights were good. Yeah, here's my thing on that. You know, that's what he's used to doing. He's still more of a pass rush linebacker. He'll just be in a joker spot and rush the passer. But man, we got to change something up. I worked Sertain at 6 and the Sante boys in the 2nd round rebuild the defense. Hey, I asked the question earlier, what do you think we need to start rebuilding first, defense or offense? And I would say that the chat was more predominantly defense, even though everybody wants, what's his name? Chase. Cam was on I'm an Athlete and said he wasn't sick, just couldn't smell. They asked him what happened after COVID. Yeah, his play didn't show that, but hey, I'm not going to say if you heard it, I believe you. I'm starting to like Pitts at 6, much deeper wide receiver class than last year. Last year was top heavy. He can get an above average wide receiver later. Pitts is a generational talent and can be Mike Evans like wide receiver outside. You don't think Chase can be out there like that? And here's my take. Do we trust us making moves in the 2nd and 3rd? That's where we start to get a little eerie. Hey, Mir, just cleaning up some stuff. I don't know why I read that. Drummer said 1st round wide receiver, cornerback, and then offensive line. Oh, cornerback or offensive line. So you're going 1st round wide receiver, and then in the 2nd, it's either a corner or O-line. Big Bird said trade up to the 2nd and get whatever quarterback falls. Lawrence and Wilson are going to be in the league a while. Woo, Big Birds. After everybody coming in here saying we don't want a quarterback, he comes in with some Big Bird hot take. He said he wants a quarterback. I can't do it, my guy. Listen, I believe that the next year's quarterback prospects are going to be pretty good. I can't tell you who they are. I'm only going off pure what people are saying. But I got to give Hurts a chance, man. I understand you might think that we can get the quarterback to build with, but what are we building? We're getting a quarterback that's going to be struggling with the lack of picks, lack of talent around here, and we might be gutting this team. I just got to give Hurts a shot. Xavier Collins is a massive draft crush of mine, going to be a stud at linebacker. I like Xavier Collins. We will not win anything if we don't fix the offensive line. That's true. That is true. Listen, everything starts in the trenches on both sides of the teams. Quarterbacks and receivers play better when they have time. Cornerbacks and safeties and linebackers cover better when The other opposing offense don't have time. It's just where you need to start. But I do believe we have, listen, it depends on, again, Lane and Brandon Brooks are solid pieces if we were going to compete in the next 3 or 4 years. But because we're not competing in the next 3 or 4 years, we really can't talk about Lane Johnson and Brandon Brooks being built around pieces. Because once we start competing in 2, 3, 4 years, they old. So it's tough. Hurts is the real deal. We need everything else. I'm with it. I think a quarterback coming to our team now is going to be horrible, and not because he's horrible, but what we have is horrible. I'm with it. Pop says, yeah, we have to go with Hurts right now to see. I think he can be okay. Just run the ball. Shout out to Nina. Hey, Nina, I saw your Twitter. Listen, I like how you said it. I'm going to keep this picture of Alshon Jeffery on my wall. It's not what, it was time for him to go pretty much, but the dude still had a great Super Bowl, and I will forever love him for that. But it was time. Shout out to you. Big Bird said Hurts is not Sirianni's guy, and if the Colts liked Hurts, they would have taken him with the second pick last year. Sirianni might take his guy. Now that I can understand too, because sometimes coaches want to come in and pick their guy. I just hope it doesn't happen. I hope he learns to love him. Mike looked like he's been refreshing the Twitter feed all day and night. I feel the pain. Shout out to you, my guy. O-line needs to get healthy. I agree. We need better cornerback and pass rushers. Hey, it always starts on the defensive side. Even though we are getting to be more of a pass-heavy, it's a pass-heavy error and all that stuff. But, you still got to mess with the D. Young pass rushers, I should say. OGTV says it takes a year to turn things around. Relax. We can't get rid of too many people without replacing them first. Yeah, my only thing is, depending on how this team performs early, I think you can talk about gutting the 30-year-olds. If you're 31 years old, if this team comes out the gate poorly, you're 31. You're doing the player a disjustice, and you're doing the team a disjustice by paying this guy 2 more years where he's going to play high-quality football, and we're not going to be doing high-quality things. So I think it's more of a wait-and-see type scenario, but we have to take everything in consideration, and that's why you might see big names on the trade block. Go with Hurts and get a reliable veteran backup. Do not draft a quarterback. You heard it here first from Nina. I agree. Please get some nasty O-line to protect Hurts. Linebackers and secondary we need. I agree. Shout out to everybody in chat. Listen, we got 211 people in here, and we've been going for an hour and 13 minutes. And I didn't even say this one time. So you guys got me talking about all this good stuff. I totally forgot. But listen, if you could do me a favor, smash that like button for your boy. It's free. It's easy. It don't cost a thing. Greatly appreciate it. It pushes this out to other Philly fans. Shout out to everybody in the chat. We got 207. Hit that like button for your boy. Can't get rid of Fletch or Slay yet. Yeah, some people are legitimately believing this team is not going to compete and want to have a fire sale now. I'm more along the lines that I wouldn't necessarily get rid of them yet, but I would really scope this team out and see what we are bringing to the table early in 2021. Frank said Lance is better than Fields. Woo! Hot take. Brandon Graham might need to go with the trade. Might. Drummer Boy said hit that like button. Shout out to you. Appreciate it. Yeah, man. Jason said, we not going to win it all this season coming, but hopefully we will the year after. Yeah, I just want to compete, to be honest. I like to wake up on Sunday like, yeah, the Eagles are playing. Not, yeah, we about to get whooped. You know what I mean? I don't want to wake up thinking like we about to get whooped. Will Sten says we definitely got to keep some vets around. Yeah, again, I think it's more of a wait and see process. If we come out 0-5, well, whoop, there it is. We come out 4-1, whoop, there it is. You know what I mean? Now that's being a little exaggerating both sides, but I think that's where you have to really figure things out. Nico Collins is the fourth as good as Pitts at wide receiver? Oh, you're saying Nico Collins in the fourth is as good as Pitts? I had to check his tape. Sloppy Joe says, what do you think we can get in a trade for Brooks? He's been injured, getting older. Herbig played really well. See, and that's where everything comes into perspective. I think the best value you're going to get for a Lane Johnson, for a Brandon Brooks, for guys who play at a high level when they're there, but sometimes ain't there, is around the trade deadline. One, we will know about our team, whether we know the team is good, whether we know the team is straight not good. And you will have teams like a Packers team or a a Chargers team trying to compete. Maybe they're up and coming. Maybe the Rams are good. The Colts are good. You will have teams that are good, and maybe they lose their left tackle. Maybe they lose their right guard. I mean, their right tackle, their right guard. Or maybe they're only a right guard away from having a really good team. They're like, this team is good. They just can't protect the right side. Whoop, there it is. So I think you got to wait and see. And then you can get a contender who is not. Contenders are not that worried about their draft picks because their draft picks are going to be everybody who loves their draft picks. Don't get me wrong, but their draft pick is their second round is dang near a third round. Their first round is dang near a second round. So you can really flirt with the idea of getting rid of one of these guys closer to the trade deadline and being, and come away with a win. Five Across Your Lips says 200 in the chat. Let's get this channel to grow. Shout out to my guy, Five Across Your Lips. I like being a sleeper team. Jalen will keep us in games this year. Hey, I hope so. I'm happy with Malata and Herbig on the weak side. Hey, then we can do a lot of damage by getting rid of or trying to trade guys like Brooks and or Lane. I'm thinking about doubling up at linebacker and cornerback and defensive end. Forget that. Hey, I'm with you. We got to fully rebuild and move our beloved players on to get draft compensation and build around Hurts or whoever we draft this year before the contracts comes up. I'm with you. Again, I'm with you with understanding that's what we got to do. But I'm also a guy who was like, can we wait till like week 2, week 3, week 4? Can I feel this team out? Because I love some Fletch. I love these guys, but I understand it's a business and we might got to part ways. But I do feel like, great point about the trade deadline. Yeah, that's where you move all your valuable pieces that are not valuable to you no more, but will be valuable for another team. Listen, do you remember why we got a first round pick for Sam Bradford? It wasn't the trade deadline, but the Minnesota's Vikings quarterback just got hurt, and they felt like they had a team on offense and defense that could win or compete this year. So they paid the extra price for Sam Bradford. Shout out to my guy Jay Kills with the $2 super chat. He said, sign Gabbert, draft a cornerback, linebacker, edge, offensive line in that order. So you would go corner, linebacker, edge, and then O-line. My man says, forget all offense except for the last pick. We finally go out and get a O-lineman. Shout out to you. That'll be tough. Shocking. Will Sten says, I'm out, Mike. Have a good night, homie. Appreciate you for coming through, my guy. Have a good one. Yeah, and have what happened to the Chiefs, and we're pulling back ones for both Brooks and Johnson at the deadline. Exactly. Listen, if the Chiefs lost 2 offensive linemen for the year by the deadline, they might do something like that. When do you think the Eagles will trade Ertz? I don't want him to go, but I'd rather get someone or draft picks for him since he's going. Exactly. That's why, I know people were really kind of not trying to do that last year, but the thing we should have did was trade him last year. We would have been able to get a decent amount of compensation. Now, with the fact that he's able to walk away soon, it's going to be hard. The only way we're able to trade him is if we find someone who's like, I want him, but if he walks, he's probably not going to come to us. But when the team knows they're going to eventually have to pay him and all that stuff, it gets a little dicey. But hey, I'll take a pick, 4th, 5th. Throw that. For the last 3 years, we have been snake bitten with injuries. Do you think we might have a healthy season? To me, I really cannot speak on health, and it baffles me. It really baffles me is that we've been this hurt for this long. I don't understand it at all. I really don't. We got new what do you call that? Training staff or with all them type of people. I can't even think of it because we don't have it. I just don't understand why we can't stay healthy. And everything we just said, from drafting Jamar Chase, from drafting Kyle Pitts to doing this and that, is a moot point if we can't stay healthy. Frank said, can you do a full 7 rounds Eagles mock draft? Mike, I got you. I'm going to do a mock draft that I drop out as a video, and I'm also going to do a mock draft on here live with you guys. I did it last year. I'm doing it this year. And when we do it, first when I do it, I pick my picks. Y'all can talk about them, but I pick my picks. And the second one, I don't do nothing. Every round, I ask you guys who we take. Now, I can't just listen to one person in the chat, but I go majority rules. And it's a majority rule Philly Talk Podcast chat lineup. And we go off it like that. I agree with going heavy on drafting defensive players since a lot of the players we drafted last year are still young and there's chance they can grow with Hurts. Exactly. You do got to remember we got a young Jalen Reagor, Quez Watkins, John Hightower. Depending on how you feel about them guys, they're still here and they will be on the roster because they're pennies to the dollar. Not going to lie, I really want Surtain at 6, to be honest, just to feel secure, right? And if we do keep Big Play Slayer around a little bit, that is something that you're like, yeah. Especially if Jonathan Gannon plays a little bit of cover 2 and he keeps safeties over the top, I think you can really shore up the secondary. Honestly, if the Eagles drafted Rashawn Slater at 6, it wouldn't be sexy, but he's a generational offensive line that can play literally every spot and start. I'd take it. I didn't really look at no tape of Rashawn Slater, but I am hearing he's the next best thing to Penei Sewell. So I will look at it, and I agree. Offensive lineman's going to be like, not sexy, but it's how you build foundations, you know? John said the only thing about the deadline is that maybe banged up before then. That's true, too. We are talking about the Eagles. Do you think Brandon Brooks and Lane Johnson can stay healthy to the deadline? So, hey, shout out to John. You came with a great point. Knowing the Eagles, these guys are going to be hurt. And the same way I said their value goes up, their value goes way down if they're hurt. Some of these kids want to pick Trevor Lawrence on the Eagles, so they are used to him in their new offense, like they were used to Michael Vick back in the day on Madden, run every time. How fast is Trevor Lawrence? I haven't watched much Trevor Lawrence tape. The reason I know he's good is because I know he's been highly touted, like as the next best thing, like to Andrew Luck. Now again, everybody has a bust factor, just that when you're that scouted and that watched and that studied, your bust factor is a lot lower. Watch the stud players fall to us in a second, how he passed on them. My man just breaking my heart. Here we go. My guy Bobby Murphy says, breaking news. Carson is demanding a trade out of Indy. Pitts won't give him number 11. His feelings are hurt again. Why do you leave Brittany alone? I mean, leave Carson alone. It's over. Mike Rose says, I'm hoping Jalen Hurts turns into Lamar Jackson or Deshaun Watson. I'll take Deshaun Watson, preferably. 2013 was the last year. Lane Johnson, we really got anything out of Wentz, kind of that horrible. I hear you. Yes, O-line is the move at 6. All right, we got a couple more of these. The big fish, little boats has got to draft Pitts at 6. It makes way too much sense with Ertz gone. Let the young wide receivers grow with Hurts. Tight end is the quarterback's best friend. I really want Pitts. So you don't believe in Dallas Goedert at all? Hey, Mirror Slap, bring all that into the DMs, man. I love it because, like I said, sometimes y'all say somebody that I don't even know. I look at him and I listen. Anybody that DMs me on Twitter, and listen, I normally have my Twitter right there, so I don't have it. But anybody who DMs me, if you DM me, there we go. If you DM me a guy to look up and I do a draft profile video on him, I always give you guys credit. I will never say, yo, this guy, bloody blue, blue, blah. is a monster. I found him on I'm gonna be like, hey, Mir Slat, shout out to you for putting me on to this guy, or Sloppy Joe, or whoever actually puts me on to the guy. You know what I mean? Shout out to you guys. Philly Fan D with the 4. I repeat, $4.99 super chat. If we were going to dump some players, do it on a defense. Hurts needs good playmakers and must protect him. Can't have another David Carr. I hear you. And I'm willing to wait a little bit to see if we're in that must dump player or not scenario. But I do believe most of the players would be defense, from a Brandon Graham to a Derek Barnett to a Fletcher Cox to a big play Slay. Derek Barnett, I think, is done regardless. Lane Johnson and or Brandon Brooks, one of them two could possibly, if it really comes down to that. But as long as the offensive line is healthy around them, like the Jack Driscolls, the Nate Herbigs, the Jordan Maladas, you might be able to finagle something. I just want to see Hurts grow as well. I think all our skill players, from Miles Sanders to Dallas Goedert to hopefully a healthy Jalen Reagor and these young John Hightower and Quez Watkins, maybe we can get something going with them. You know what I mean? Scott says, doesn't it say something about Howie that our last 2 first-round picks were an offensive tackle and a wide receiver, but we're still looking for offensive tackle and wide receiver? We should be solid at those spots, but now fixing the defense. And you're 100% right, Scott. That's the thing. We already started, moving pieces to get pieces in here. We should be 100% at left tackle. That was the 17th overall pick. We should be 100% at wide receiver. That was the 21st, 23rd overall pick. You got to make it happen. We will be moving on. Didn't. We're playing catch up. And he's just not good. Eagles body bag says, why is Jalen Mills still here? He's trash, bro. He's a free agent. So I don't know if the Eagles are going to bring him back. What's going on, AK Eagle, my guy in the building? There's no comparison of Diller and... No, not at all. O-line being healthy is a big if. The Eagles in general being healthy is a huge if. And if was a fifth, we all be gone, drunk, whatever you want to call it. I wouldn't be mad if the Eagles drafted Patrick Surtain, such a lockdown corner. Hey, I think there's no real way to go wrong. I'll be happy with. I think Surtain is a little bit early for 6. I would like to take him around 8-ish, 9. It's not that big of a difference, but I hear you. But when I really look at it, if we got a Surtain, I wouldn't be upset. If we got a Jamar Chase, a Kyle Pitts, a Devontae Smith, a Penei Sewell, the only way I will feel different levels of happiness. I will feel different levels of happiness with all them. It might be Jamar Chase up here, Devontae Smith kind of close, Penei Sewell might be up here, Surtain might be a little bit down. I'll feel a different level of happiness with all of them. But what will kill me? If we get a quarterback. That will kill me. Personally, I think we should trade Lane, Brooks, Fletch, Slay. They would give us so much draft capital and actually start to rebuild. Sorry if it's an unpopular opinion. No, I think that's an opinion that we actually really have to look at and really have to be prepared for. I just think, I don't know if you do that all in the offseason. I think some of it got to be week 4 trade, week 7 trade. You know what I mean? Before the deadline trade, I don't know if we do all that before. Trade everyone, start over. It's definitely an option. And if they did it, I wouldn't be mad. You're not going to hear me complain because I'm kind of ready for it. It's something that might have to be done. If we do end up moving Brooks and Johnson, they can really evaluate Hurts. They can or can't really Hurts correctly besides how good he's running for his life. If Kelsey leaves, I try Diller at left guard and move Samalu or Herbig to center. I think Samalu gets the first crack at it, to be honest. I joined late and may have already talked about this. How do you feel about Jacoby or Tyrod as a backup for Hurts? I think they are the best fits. I did talk about this a little bit earlier, and it makes perfect sense. These are guys who've been around the NFL, can offer good advice to Jalen Hurts, and they're not going to try to take his job. I mean, every quarterback wants to start. If you ask Tyrod Taylor or Jacoby Brissett, do you want to start? They'll say yes, but they know where they're at pretty much. Jacoby Brissett knew he was a backup for Phillip Rivers. Tyrod Taylor knew he was. Well, he kind of started first, but was Justin Herbert's backup. These guys have been backup before, and I think they'll be able to accept that role and excel in it by really showing Jalen Hurts the little things that go a long way. I want TF13, Fulgham, Ward, Rager, Watkins, Hightower at wide receiver. I don't think we really need a wide receiver at 6, but that's the best option. Take it. Yeah. I mean, if it's best player available, you got to. Melvin said, do you think the Eagles move back and gain more picks in the process? I really would consider that. The thing is, it depends what you want. You know, if you're really interested in Kyle Pitts, I think if you move back past Dallas at 10, they're going to take him. If you really want Jamar Chase and you move back, you're not going to get him. I think if you're okay with Patrick Surtain, you can move back a little bit. Now you got to watch out for the Giants because they're looking for a corner possibly too, or they're also interested in Waddle or receiver. So it depends on who you really want, but and what you get in place. If we move back to 9 and we get another second round pick or a third round pick, I'm considering it. I know we need a blue chip player with our first round pick, and the farther we go back, the more iffy it is for Howie Roseman and just for the board being available, someone that you really want. But we need as many picks. It's hard. If the Eagles right now know they're about to start selling everybody from the Darius Slays to the Fletchers to the Lanes to the Brandon Brooks, then no, I'm not trying to move back. Then at that point, I'm trying to say, you know what? We're going to get capital from there, get our blue chip player at 6. John said, I worry about passing on Surtain and him getting drafted by Dallas. Yes. As much as I just said, Kyle Pitts can go to Dallas because they just love offense and they forgot about defense. They know they need defense and they made a mistake. Well, they didn't make the mistake, but they went CD Lamb in the first just to spite us. They knew they needed defense. Raphael says, trade for this year, next year's draft. Wait, trade for this year and next year's draft? You mean the veterans? I don't know, man. Smith and the O-line is needed. True. You know, again, when you look at the Eagles, there's no really right answer because of how much is needed. And you can say if, and I'm going to say one more time, if healthy, the offensive line is a better group than the wide receivers. It's a better group than the corners. It's a better group than the linebackers. But that's if they're healthy. And that's if the Eagles are not going the route of get rid of the old 30-year-olds. So it's tough. Fitzmagic is going to be too expensive. Exactly. And then you still got Philly fans who are like, you know what? Hurts is stinking. Put Fitzmagic in. So I like a guy who knows his role for that position. You know, I think Surtain goes to Dallas at 10. They definitely could. Again, they should 100% be looking at defense, but it is Dallas. Do you think we draft a wideout since we are let go one? I think that could possibly move the needle a little bit. You got to think that the organization for the longest time has been counting on Jeffery and Deshaun Jackson to come in and get some playing time, and they never did it, and now they're gone. So do they believe that Rager is number 1? I don't. I think Rager could make a fine number 2. I think he has to prove it because he didn't prove much thus far. I'm not giving up on him, but he didn't prove. I mean, if we gave J.J. Arcega-Whiteside a second chance, oh boy, we got to give everybody a second chance. So we trash Carson Wentz. It's about him not wanting to go up against competition and trashing him for it. And now we are making excuses why Jalen Hurts should have competition. Let me say my take on that, Vic. If competition is there, it should be. I'm not saying Jalen Hurts shouldn't have it. What I'm saying is Carson Wentz should have never had it. Once he got it, it is what it is. You know what I mean? My take is this: if we would sign a veteran quarterback and they beat out Jalen Hurts, well, then we made a mistake by not going quarterback then. You know what I mean? And I don't think you can see that. What I'm trying to say now is when we had Carson Wentz, we still had big name guys on this team for money wise. We had a Super Bowl winning coach, and we had the mindset that we want to win. This is a different team. New coach might be blowing stuff up, and we might be wanting to rebuild. So if you're rebuilding, why would you even think about having a older veteran guy, a guy who's never been a team's number one guy, try to compete? You got to see the young, whether he's better or worse, because we're learning. You know what I mean? You don't rebuild with a 35-year-old quarterback. You don't. So I don't know how old these other guys are, but you know what I'm trying to say is we're in a different situation now. Carson Wentz, Doug Peterson, old offensive line, old wide receiver core. We weren't winning, but we were in like kind of win now mode. 2 receivers in the 30s, 2 offensive linemen in the 30s, a 30-year-old cornerback, a 28-year-old quarterback, a Super Bowl winning coach. We're trying to win now. Now all the coaches are 30, quarterback 20. Might be blowing up these 30-year-olds. It might be a different team. I don't know how to read them every day. Reading every message on Troll Patrol has. Hey, shout out to you, 2020 Vision. Appreciate you for coming through, my guy. Hey, so victory, that's my only issue. That's what I'm trying to say when it comes to that. I just think we're not in a position to have a quarterback competition. I think whoever's the youngest quarterback on the team has to start. The younger, the better. I would clown another team for doing that. Wait, what do you mean? We had somebody to fill that role or better, and he's gone now, but we will see cries pouring if Jalen doesn't perform. Hey, I'm not saying we wouldn't. Just build around quarterback, something the Eagles failed to do with the last one. Hey, I hear you. Hey, where'd you get the Malik Jackson info? Wasn't it Alshon Jeffery? Well, maybe I'm a little bit ahead on the Malik Jackson thing, but when we restructured Alshon Jeffery and Malik Jackson right after the season, it was for this exact reason. If he's not released now, I would bet my bottom dollar on it. So maybe I might be a little bit ahead of the game. Sorry about that, but I do believe he's gone. Darius Slay said he wanted Jamar Chase. He might not be on the team. I hear you though. I think we can win a division. We still could have won it last year. It wasn't bad play. If it wasn't bad play calls from Doug and Jim, we could have won 8 games. Yeah, listen, and that's why I understand people who want to have a fire sale in the offseason because of the direction this team needs to go. We need to get draft capital. Draft capital gets us out of this cap situation in a future, so we can have like not just a okay bright future, a legit huge shopping spree future. But I also agree with the people like you, gaming with Shaq, that if we were healthy last year, maybe we would have won a division. And if we can keep the same team a little bit, get rid of some of the older guys like we just did, Alshon, Deshaun, and we keep the team and we stay healthy, we might win 8 games. And that might be enough for our division. It's depending on how you really feel. Again, there is people, and I agree with it, if we were just healthy last year and had better play calling and sometimes better quarterback play at times, don't kill me, we probably would have won more games. So you're right. I mean, and that's why right now, as we sit here and it's what, February? We're not even in March yet. I wouldn't quite necessarily go on a fire sale next week. I would try to wait closer and really try to fill out this team. Because I don't like waking up on Sundays like, yep, we going to lose again. I want to wake up like, yeah, we got the Cowboys. You about to put the whoop on them. because I hate losing to the Cowboys. Here we go. Everyone was saying Doug's play calling stunk. This morning, it was reported that Carson was changing the plays in the huddle to spite Doug. I don't know to what degree and all that stuff. I mean, the reports that come out nowadays are just like, wow. I like Slay wanting Chase because they both up each other's game. That's true. Philly the podcast said, dang, you still going? Yeah, man, it's an hour and 40 minutes. I'm about to get up out of here. Shout out to you for reminding me. The comments come in quickly and keep me off balance. Do you think Sirianni has the ability to be here long term like Andy Reid with all his coaching staff changes he made? It's a real tough question to answer, honestly. I mean, I could just say something. I believe in the X and O part of Nick Sirianni. I just don't know how he's going to be as a leader of men. You know, I hear good things about him, but it's definitely hard to the power of my wrench, my brother. I got you. You already know. Philly the podcast is like, get off because I want to go live next. Get off so I can go live. Shout out to Philly the podcast. Listen, we got a $191 in here. Do me 2 favors. 1, if you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. We drop regular videos. We drop live streams. We do live call-ins, which today was supposed to be one, but I've been talking too much. Hit the subscribe button. And if you haven't done it and you're in here and you look down, you say, oh, I didn't hit the like button. I would greatly appreciate you smashing the like button. It's easy. It's free. It don't cost a thing. It goes a long way for the channel. And also, my guy, Philly the podcast. Right there he is. Right there in the comment. All I ask you to do is type on his name in the search bar. Watch a video. If you like it, hit the button. Because Eagle YouTubers got to stick together. Yeah. JT, you can turn around anytime you want. You know what I mean? If you're like, ew, YouTube, what is this? Don't click on the video. You didn't have to click on the video. Wentz played bad last year. He wasn't making the right reads. He missed reads and were as any other quarterback would have made. Did both. Would love to do the call-in. Hey, listen, if we don't, I'm already an hour and 42 minutes in today. Listen, turn post notification on my guy, Raphael. I probably will go live on Wednesday. If I go live Wednesday, tomorrow I'll probably I might have to do a Sixers video tomorrow, and I might drop a regular video on Wednesday. If I drop a regular podcast episode on Wednesday, either Wednesday or Thursday at 7 o'clock, I will be back live. And that one will be a call-in for a good hour and a half. Is Jason Peters coming back? If he comes back, then everything that I said and I feel, it is what it is. If the 38-year-old guy who can't stay healthy got more money from us and couldn't block, if he's back, listen, I love Jason Peters. He's a Hall of Famer, but come on, man. If he comes back, let's go Hurts. You already know Christopher Drummer said smash. You already know Eagles Body Bag says, why don't we just get the 2 best cornerbacks in the draft? Patrick Surtain reminds me of Sheldon Brown, and Caleb Farley is like Alito Shepherd. Facts. That's interesting. But shout out to everybody in the chat. I'm going to be getting out of here. Like I said, Thursday or Wednesday, I will be going live. Call in. I want all the people who got the hot takes. I want the guys who are coming in and spitting fire to be here, be ready. Come in, talk your talk, use the camera, use a blank page. You can show your face, you cannot. Love it. Somebody please take Wilson Fields. Way to kill it, Mike. Great show, bro. Keep killing it. Everyone smash those likes. You already know. Appreciate you, my guys and gals in the chat. Until next time, you guys know what time it is. Go Birds. Let's go. Whether we rebuilding or we coming in strong. We got to stick together. Smash the like button, hit the subscribe button. I'll catch you guys on the next one. You know what time it is. We out. Peace.